So good. Hey, what's up? It is Khaliah, and today is my birthday. I don't know if you are familiar with Jasmine Love. Their YouTube channel is Love and Slim. I'll link it down below. But she actually, I feel like we had the exact same thought, I promise. So I have been making out a list of all of the free places that I go every year to get my freebies throughout the month, because I do try to celebrate my birthday all month long. But this month has been, honestly, it's been really taxing. And I don't know if you watched the last two videos, you can see that there is some damage to my face, and we'll go over that maybe a little bit here, because you guys, I know the word says be slow to speak and quick to listen, and I always think and process and reflect before I just haphazardly speak on something. That's just how I am, and I like to be very careful with my words in general. It has just been a very frustrating month. I'm not gonna lie, starting on July 1. And that's another story that I have been thinking about telling, or if I should go live, because I have footage of it, but it's so annoying and frustrating that I don't even want to share it. I don't want to share it. I don't want to share the footage, but I do kind of want to share the story. But I may go into a little bit of detail about the damage on my face in a little bit. But right now, like I was saying, Love and Slim, they have a YouTube video that they just uploaded about how they took her around to all of the free spots to get her freebie things. And so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the past, I have always done this, but I did not know the amount of places there are. If you look up Crazy Coupon website, you will find that there are 101 places that she knows of that you can go and get your birthday freebies. But what I normally do is, because I'm in Arkansas, there are a couple of local joints that are not anywhere else out of the state. So Purple Cow gives you a free purple milkshake. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jason's Deli gives you something. And so all these other places I feel like are national, but I already went to Sephora, and I'll probably unbox that with you guys. I'm gonna go by Ulta, I'm gonna go by Starbucks, I'm gonna go by Edible Arrangements, because I believe I signed up for that newsletter in time. That's the other key thing. For most of these, you either have to have like the app, or you have to be on their email list to get the updates, and you can't do it the day of your birthday. Like, they want you to at least have been a member 7 days or more before your birthday, or have purchased with them. I think Starbucks makes you have to purchase something with them. You guys, there's so many things in my mind, so that's why like my words are coming out the way they are, because there's so many things. Anyways, I just got on some chill gear because, you know, it's hot, it's been raining, and I don't have like major plans. I do want to take myself to dinner later, so I don't know. I don't feel like getting cute. I do not want to put on makeup, because I just want my skin to heal and breathe without any like chemical or, you know, cosmetic ingredients on there. All I have on is Black Girl sunscreen and some Aquaphor for right now to go through the process. And of course, there's a lot of hyperpigmentation. Let's just hop in the car and hit up Starbucks, because that's my first stop. And then I'll just kind of like make my runs and my rounds. I actually need to pay a few bills on my app, and I also need to get some fuel. So yeah, I'll have you guys coming along with me. Peace. All right, y'all, let's get it, let's go. So the first stop, as I said earlier, we're heading to Starbucks. Honestly, I'm not a big coffee drinker, never have been. So, you know, there are things at Starbucks that are coffee and or tea, are refreshers that I can enjoy. So it's not like that I'm against Starbucks, so I do go. So I guess I will kind of just chime in on what's going on with my skin, because even I don't really know. But happy birthday to me. We'll start there. So if you know, you know, I have an esthetician that I have actually been patronizing for, I'd say, 2 years, close to 2 years. I met her at a fashion show that I tend to do, if not every year, every other year. It's the Khaliah fashion show, and that is one way that I give back with my passion, because I'm not paid for that event, and I absolutely enjoy doing it. And I usually model for 2 shops. So this year it was 2021. Yes, it was 2021. And I actually had to go do 2 fittings, and one which was Dillard's. And when I went to the fitting with Dillard's, because I've done this Khaliah show so many times, one of the buyers that's fairly new wasn't aware of kind of like the makeup and hair mishaps that we have, because of course we use students at our local esthetician school, cosmetology school, and sometimes they're good, sometimes it's just like they act really scared to mess with ethnic hair and all kinds of stuff. I've had some weird experience sitting in that chair for that show. So I had told the buyer when she went to fit me and to pick out the outfits that I would wear that we do have that problem, and sometimes, and she was like, well, I want our section and our fashion show to be flawless for Dillard's, so I want the best of the best. And she was like, we have a makeup artist that we use when we do our actual Dillard shoots for the website and all that stuff. And she was like, I'm gonna call her and have her come in to do only our hair and makeup. And I was like, yes, I'm glad I said something. So it happened. This is like November 2021, and I met her, and you guys know her salon because I've highlighted her in other videos. It's not like I don't enjoy having my services done by her. I really feel like she's a great person.
You just walk, and we walked in chin back from this is full on Sarah. Like, I'm just gonna text her and be like, what did you do to us? It's the hilarity of like,
we always keep edge control in our kits for our chocolate sisters.
this is pretty bad.
Edge
Yes.
control.
Yes, I love it.
I don't do baby hairs because ain't nobody sitting in my chair, baby.
Yes.
It's just my thing. So we just want to slip all this down. Comb.
Do you think they'll make people
All this lays flat. And I don't like them looking crusty.
okay?
They're like super wet. It just has to look like smooth edges.
Okay, yeah.
What's going on over there?
I don't think anybody does anymore, to be honest. This is that weird in between where I was just when's the day that, I mean, is it ever going to come where like it's officially
And you also have to have like a hard bristle brush so you can smooth out the whole cuticle of the hair. See, I just keep my hand there, and one open, one closed. And even if it's not as like slick as you want it there, you can go in and touch that up afterwards.
oh, so they'll just put jewelry
So I'll hold it here, and then down at the nape of the neck. Only black people are allowed to refer to this as
Yes.
the kitchen, but this is the kitchen because the little hair looks like little peas sometimes, and we brush that up like so, like that. Okay?
I love this culture.
You recording me right
Yes.
now? So you call it the nape of the neck, and we
Francis Kitchen. Exactly. Education for the Black Culture 101.
Yes, education for the culture.
101. And we're out.
So we did the fashion show, and it was really, really funny because we had other women that were not walking with our group, and they were just over there looking at us getting our hair and makeup done, and they saw how flawless it was, how beautiful we looked. And we had one girl, like, she snuck over there with us. Like, no, we had two girls that snuck over there with us, and they were like, we really just want her to do our hair and makeup because, like, it was looking a hot mess. And unfortunately, it happens so much when you're in a state, a city that, you know, you're not the majority. And I literally have had someone that was like freaking out about touching my natural curls, my natural hair, and I had to request to have them get out of my hair because they didn't even really want to do it. And then there was someone else like, well, I'll take on the challenge, but they didn't even really understand ethnic hair. So that's the part that's just like, it's crazy when you're dealing in the fashion, modeling, commercial acting industry. You have people that don't understand ethnic hair that end up, you know, being on the set or, you know, behind the scenes doing all this stuff. So anyways, we had a wonderful time. She did so good. So I ended up eventually looking up her website and going to her for my brows only, because I'm gonna tell you, I've never felt like I had horrible skin. I do know that I have normal to dry skin, and in the winter months my skin all over my body typically kind of freaks out, but I've never been like this acne prone person or anything. So I do have a skincare regimen, and I have been a solid skincare regimen girl since about 2010, like a very solid skincare girl. I have my own Arbonne website. If you ever want to order from me, I can help you. And so I use those products. Before that, it was just soap and water, maybe Neutrogena here and there. But those are the products that I've always used. So I've never seen like just there was an issue with my skin, but it does have a tendency to be dry. And I know that she makes little comments about my skin being dry here and there. So we've mostly focused on brows because, one, all the skin care stuff, like, you know, the different masks, the dermaplaning, all that stuff, it gets really expensive. So I'll just be like, well, as long as I exfoliate and take care of my skin, I'll be okay for now. So during the winter months, she started making comments about my skin and just suggesting and recommending treatments that she should do, you know, and I would come in and get them because she was just like, your skin is so dry. And I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, it is what it is. So my grandmother passed away. Of course, we know this. We've been over this. It was in January. And before I went, in preparation for that funeral, you can go back to that video. I'll try to link it. And I actually go and I get all my, you know, like my treatment and everything that I need done. I go get that done. And so one of the treatments that I got was I went to her and I let her do the dermaplaning on me for the first time. I have never had dermaplaning. I ain't never been like, oh, there's hair on my face, it's driving me crazy. I ain't never felt like I had like almost a full male mustache, none of that. But she told me it's gonna bring so much shine to your face, you're really going to enjoy it, like you should do that, like, you know, it is gonna bring back that shine and that glow to you, so please do that. So you can go watch that video, you can see like how I felt about it, the results, my thoughts on that. No problem, we did it. It was not cheap. So then I'm just doing the norm. She, you know, brows, and it's about time for me to order, y'all, so just hang tight. So then I have so much on my mind. She the last time I seen her was probably around, I'd say May or something like that, because I had a reading for PBS and I can't think of what else, but she had done my brows recently. And so she said, you need to book another facial, you know, like, I'm noticing this, you need to book another facial, and just come in And she said, and because you're always so consistent and you are a repeat customer and you're loyal, she said, I'm gonna do something special for you, like for your facial, but just order the standard like facial, and then I'm gonna throw in a bonus. I'm like, okay. Now I do have receipts, I do have emails about this whole thing leading up to me going. So this was, I believe it was like a Thursday. Yep, it was June 15th, and here we are a month later. And I had to work that day, so I was gonna go after work. And I remember I reached out to her that morning, and I was just like, hey, like, what would you like to drink? I think you can see that on my TikTok that I, went to ended up going to Starbucks or whatever. So she told me what she liked, and I said, great. After work, I went straight to Starbucks, ordered her drink, got me a drink, got there, and I'm getting ready to bust in the room, and she's like, no, like, I'm not ready for you. And she was like, I'm so sorry, I'm like behind. And she said, just take a seat out there and I'll bring you in. So people are laying on those beds. Now I've never had no issue with like her cleanliness, because to me she seems always clean, but I was wondering, like, did she change the blanket, or was I using the same blanket that somebody else was on? I don't know. Anyways, finally she told me to come in, and she was like, oh, I think I cut out some of that footage on the previous video that I uploaded, but because she was talking about another client, so I didn't want to like have that in there. But she was just basically saying that this daughter and father ended up being like really late, and like her whole day has been at least about 15 minutes behind. Now mind you, she had gone to Europe probably 3 weeks prior to that, so her taking all that time off, I do feel like she more than likely was scrambling to make up for her time away, which I mean, she deserves vacation, she deserves her time. But she didn't tell me like before I got there that she was running behind. She told me after I tried to walk in the suite with her that no, I'm still trying to get everything ready. So she finally got me in, and she just started doing like, the normal facial part of it that I actually booked and paid for. And I did pay for it up front, and I tipped her too. And she said, and then she had this one thing, it was like white, and I could tell like whenever she like started on my forehead area, it was like little prickly needles. But I've never had microdermabrasion. I've never had any of those like specialty type facials, because I just don't get them. But I'm getting up there in age. I'm in my 40s now, so like I feel like I have to take extra steps because I'm getting up there in age. But it's nothing that's too crazy, and I don't, I'm not going to be against the signs of aging or aging, because being able to get older is a blessing. It's a beautiful thing. Some people didn't wake up today, so I count that a blessing. I count that all joy, and I have gratitude for my age and my life. So I don't really be tripping like that. I don't know. One thing I can say, when it comes to jewelry, you're never going to see me wearing a lot of it, because it makes me break out and itch if it's not real. So I gotta buy the real deal stuff, and it adds up. Like getting these piercings and purchasing these studs from Sissy's Log Cabin, it's been a pretty penny to invest in earrings and ear jewelry. I had to take this one out because I got it from Target, and it's like turning green, and like it's not right. So my skin can't handle it. So I have to be careful about what I put on my skin, how I treat it, because here we are. That looks way better now. I get in there, and like I said, she's using some one thing, and I can feel like the little needles. And then there's this spot, I don't know if you can really see it, and I think she actually toned it down a little bit more, but it was like this little baby knot, and I can't really explain it. But when I was growing up, me and my mom and my siblings, we would have to walk to the store, and one day we had walked to Walmart, and we were on the way back, and I have a baby brother, and he thought it would be funny to just take a running start and jump on my back. And when he did, it made me fall forward, and I bumped my head into the concrete. Hold on.
Hi, thank you for choosing Starbucks. What can we get started for you?
Hello, today is my birthday, so I wanted to get my drink.
Okay.
I think I want to do a pineapple passion fruit lemonade, easy ice.
blended or the regular?
Let's do the blended. What do you add in there?
It's basically like our pineapple passion fruits. It's basically just pineapple base, lemonade, and our pineapple inclusions and in ice, and we blend it up, and then we put strawberry puree in the cup.
Okay.
And we pour it in.
Okay.
That'll be $11.17 at the window.
Okay.
For whenever you get your birthday rewards.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. So when I fell and I hit my head, and so you know those kind of concrete parking lots, but you know it has like little gravelly asphalt pieces, and so it just always left a little something maybe under the skin. I don't know if something grew under there, but it always felt kind of like hard, but not like a rock. It just was weird, and it left a little lump there. And she went to picking at that and doing whatever she was doing with that tool, and it was just like I could feel little needles, and she did it all over my face and then onto my neck. Unfortunately, she never told me what that treatment was. She never told me what that was that she did after the surprise, and she never told me how to care, if I needed to do anything different or special after that treatment. So I guess the reason why it didn't dawn on me, because she was again rushed and she had one more client after me. So now we're pushing 6:15, 6 o'clock, and she's trying to get in her last client. So while I was laying there, she said, I'm looking at your skin. Have you been using those pads that you bought from me? And I said, no, I haven't been as consistent. I said, I was using them for a while, and then I haven't been as consistent. And she said, well, you need to make sure that you're using those. And I said, okay, I'll start back up to using them. That was the only instruction that she gave me afterwards. She didn't tell me if it was microdermabrasion. Like, she didn't tell me anything. And she did not tell me if I needed to be careful with sun exposure, because I know, like, when you look on your esthetician's site and you're looking at pricing and the different packages, like sometimes it'll say, you know, make sure that you're not in direct sunlight, but she didn't give me any guidance. So I leave and I'm going, you know, home or whatever to get ready for the work day the next day. So this is going into Juneteenth. So I went to work Friday and I wasn't in a lot of sunlight, but it was a like heat wave during that time. I do know that it was really hot. And I did all of that, and then I ended up Saturday was like a really lazy, slow day because I didn't sleep that great, and I just tidied up around the house a little bit, and I prepared myself to get ready for seeing Maya that night. And they said that she was gonna show around 6:30, so I was like, I'm gonna get there around 5 or 6, because I know how that is. Like when you have a celeb guest performing, you're gonna have the headliners, you're gonna have all the intro, all the stuff before. So that is just, it's a process. So I didn't get there until after 5. So I felt like, well, you know, that's not the hottest part of the day, but the sun was still beaming. I tried to stay in the shaded spot when I did all of my makeup, look, everything, my skincare. I put sunscreen on. I did change my sunscreens. I used a Bio Retinol by Supergoop that one of the estheticians on here, that's a doctor, a dermatologist, I think, she actually recommended this sunscreen for melanated skin, because normally I use black girl sunscreen, but I said I'll use this because I'm gonna be really out there, and it had a high SPF. I think it was like 40 or 50 for this Bio Retinol sunscreen. So I put that on under my moisturizer, then I apply my makeup, boom, I'm out the door. And when I'm out there, like my skin, it feels like I'm just like melting, like sweat just dropping. She performs, the sun's beaming like all like right here, but I'm trying to kind of block at the same time. And then there's a cool breeze that comes through, and I'm turning to kind of get out of it. And once I got home that night and I washed my face, I noticed, because I took a picture of it, like I felt super dry, like in this area. Super dry, super itchy. So I actually have a soothing mask that I use, and I put that over my face and just kind of let it saturate, because I was like, I'm starting to feel itchy, but it was mostly just right here, and I didn't like that feeling. y'all. I have saved my appetite all day because I knew I'm gonna run around and try to get freebies.
There you go.
Thank you.
Have a good birthday.
You too. Okay, that's a little drink. I should have got a regular big old drink for my freebie, but whatever, it's good. So, nut and bundt cake and no, edible arrangements, then nut and bundt cake. Also, I think you can get free food from Jersey Mike's, if I'm not mistaken. But that's like, that's in Bryan, I think. It's an outskirt town. I don't know if I want to drive out there, but we'll see. So, back to the story. I had the mask on, and I woke up the next day, and it felt like it was a little bit relieved, but still kind of itchy. Sunday was another, I'm trying to remember that I put makeup on my face. I think I did, because I may have gone out to brunch. So the work week started, and all of a sudden I'm noticing by day 3 or 4 that I'm flaking. And my habit is to pick, and because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm out in the public, I'm dealing with people, you know, I have to see me. And it was really bothering me. She sends out a email after every service. I don't know if, I'm sure it's auto generated, but it's like, hey, how's your service? The first few times I filled it out, all positive reviews and stuff, I've put an actual like Google review for her and everything with photos. I've done all the things, but I can't always respond to that email because I'm really busy, and emails are overwhelming for me because I have like 2 personal emails, and I have like my work email, 2 sets of email boxes in my work email, and then I try to monitor my son. When that email came through, I responded immediately, because it seems like it was that evening. It was an evening, and I was home, and it was like several days after she had done it, but it came through. And I told her, I said, look, you left, you know, when I left, before I left, you never told me what the treatment was that you gave me, what the surprise was. You didn't give me any insight, and you did not tell me any aftercare. I said, I am extremely itchy in my jawline area, my cheek area, and on both sides of my forehead. It's just extremely itchy. At the time, it wasn't even my neck, but it was under my chin, because I took a picture of under my chin. That was all itchy. So she never said anything. So I text her too. I text her. And I said, because it was June 28th by that time, she never called me. So, I mean, we're going on 10 days later. Because she did the thing like June 15th. So I texted her and I said, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. I got receipts. I just, you know, I'm itching. It's very irritated. I'm starting to scar myself because I'm scratching in my sleep. So I'm basically suffering through this. And then explaining to people at work, and explaining to my son, because he's like, Mom, what happened to your face? Like, what happened? And everybody got their opinion. Well, if I was you, I would go up there. I'm like, how's she gonna have time to deal with me if more than likely she booked with customers? One thing about me, I don't have time for no foolishness. And I would try to avoid it at all costs. But I will reach out to you and try to resolve it. before I just completely go off. So I made 2 attempts. Email, text her twice. Nothing. By this time, 2 more weeks done went by. So yesterday, my coworkers from my old department, like I said, I still have a relationship with them, and I'm so thankful. So thankful. But we went and had lunch. And I was explaining to them, and they were like, I just can't believe this. You know, everybody's shocked. And I also tried to text her again. That was yesterday, Friday. She finally responded, "Oh my gosh, I'm just now seeing these." I'm at a Jehovah's Witness conference right now. But I can call you afterwards, after 4, if you need me to. Please don't think I was ignoring you. I was not ignoring you. Okay. So, am I at the edible arrangements? Y'all, I think I'm lost. I don't think edible arrangements is where it used to be. I may have to Google it. I could have swore edible arrangement used to be in this shopping center. Oh, FYI, Trader Joe's gives you free flowers on your birthday. Oh my gosh. And this parking lot is tiny. They're not over here anymore. It says edible, but it's not up there. Where did it go? I see it on the little thing. It says edible, but I don't see it. That's wild. And I don't even know where they moved to. Jesus Christ. All right, y'all. So it looks like that edible arrangements went out of business, and I'm not surprised because my ex-husband's niece folks, they ran their operation. So it looks like they closed at 5, and it is currently 4:52. Lord, I forgot my watch. I know I said I was gonna put it on. I forgot it. I need a new wristband for my birthday. I don't know if I'm gonna do it though. Anyway, so they closed at 5. I don't have enough time to get to North Little Rock to get to the one over there, and then there's another one in Bryant. I don't want to go that far, so I will try them again because, like I said, usually sometimes you have to get your stuff the day of. I think it's Starbucks that you have to get it the day of, but normally the other establishments will allow you to have it, like they'll allow you the full month, or they'll give you like 15 days or so to get it, to redeem your offers and stuff. So I think I'm gonna slip through to Trader Joe's and see if I can grab my flowers, and then hit up, I might hit up Purple Cow because it's right next to it, and then hit up Numb Bun Cake. The Meg Bites gave me a little energy. Sorry about all the racket. So back to the story. This is why my stories take a while, because it'd be weeks and weeks done passed and I done tried to process it, or it's done got uglier. So I get off yesterday and I'm looking at the time. I'm like, wow, it's 4:30, it's 5:30, it's 6, and I ain't heard nothing from her. And I said, I'm not gonna hound this woman, because I know I have emailed her and I have texted her, and I've texted her again today. She said she was gonna call. She better call. It was a little after 6, I want to say. She calls. And I said, hello? And I basically was like, hey, like, I don't know, you know, I said, I realized that you had a lot going on. You were behind on clients. And she was like, well, I don't know. She said, I seen your email and I thought I had responded to it. So see, to me, that's giving that, I don't know, it's a lot. Either you got too much on your plate or you lying to me, because when she texted me, she said, I didn't see these. I didn't see these text messages. She didn't even acknowledge the email. She said, I didn't see these text messages. I'm at a Jehovah's Witness conference, blah, blah, blah. Then when we on the phone and I'm telling her the concerns, she says, I seen your email and I thought I had responded. I can't believe I didn't respond. So I started telling her kind of the step-by-step as far as I can recall of what was going on. And I said, and I will tell you this, and I said, I did this to myself. I said, because my forehead is flaking on each side, I said I was starting to get a little annoyed, and it was frustrating because I have to be at work every day, and I don't wear makeup to work every day. Sometimes all I do is put on a little blush. Like if I don't have meetings and I'm just at my desk and I'm not seeing a whole group of people, I will put on blush, my gloss, do my brows and shape them and fill them in, and I will do mascara, and that's all I need, because I take pride in my skin. Bags and all. Chanel bags and all. So I was telling her, I said, I did this to myself. I said, because it was flaking so bad on my forehead, I said, I kind of took, I said, you know how you have those little razors, those brow razors for touch-ups or whatever? I said, I took it and I was just kind of lightly sloughing it off. I said, but then come to find out, I took off the top layer of skin, and I was like, oh God. And so I said, now that's a scar and hyperpigmentation. And I stopped, and she said, send pictures and send me the skincare that you're using. So I sent her everything, and then that's when she's like having the nerve to tell me, well, I don't have anything to do with that. She said, I don't have anything to do with that. And she said, did you do that all over your face? I said, no. I said, why would I do that all over my face? I said, I did it on one spot and realized that I had taken off the top layer of skin. And I said, I did not do it to the rest of my area or my neck, because by this time, y'all, my neck, every time I'm wearing makeup, and I put my makeup all over, through here and under here, so it looks blended and don't cut off with that line. But I don't put makeup on my neck, y'all. Yesterday, I don't know why, my neck was so dried out. I may insert a picture, but it was so dried out, like it was just flaking, and then it just kind of went up into my chin area. So my makeup was starting to look ruined, and I was picking at my skin. Like I said, 2 of my co-workers from the old department wanted to take me to lunch, so I went with them, and I was just like, it was embarrassing because it just looked so bad. And it looks like my neck had been looking like the skin that, like, if it's been sunburned, your skin has a different texture. It almost looks like smooth with no, like, your personality and your prints in it. And it just started peeling, and I just was pulling at it, and I mean, it's still peeling now. Like, you see how that skin looked different right there? And I was just picking at it and peeling it off, which made it sore, and it's still peeling. But like, it was bad yesterday. It was bad. And I told her, like, you can see it's just been flaking. And that's what it's been doing right here in my jawlines, all right here, and all right here, and all on my neck now. And I was just telling her, I said, I did not put that razor all over my face. I said, I know better than that. I said, but what happens is I'm extremely sensitive. My nerve endings, my spirit, man, it's sensitive. And I told her, I said, even when I go to the dentist and I have to be numbed, in the past when I had to have a filling, I said, when they stick me that first time and they think that I'm good, and they give me the little nitrous, and they think I'm good, and they'll go in there, and I'll be like, and they have to give me 2 more sticks or so to get me numb, because I feel everything. But I'm gonna tell you, my God, he bigger than all of it, but you gonna go through some stuff. It's inevitable. So yeah, so I told her, I said, my skin is very, very sensitive, and I said, so even though I don't be wanting to, I scratch right here through the night. I said, because it's itching me all day, and then at night in my sleep, I'm just scratching it. Because at work, I just be going pick, because the skin is lifted, but I have scratched these scars. Like, I've scratched that, but it's been flaky as well, and I just been picking them. So, cause see right there, I don't like that. It's driving me nuts. I don't like it, and I want it off, because it's dry skin. It's dead skin, as you can see. And it's just done ticked me off and everything. So, see, that's dead skin. Yep, that's what my face has been doing. All right here, and all right here, and all under here. And my neck was completely like this yesterday. But that said, I'm trying to leave it alone, but I can feel it, and it's just annoying. If I wash my face, it turned white. Here, and under there. And then when I moisturize and I put on makeup, it just started making my makeup flake. And I use liquid foundation, a Pat McGrath. And it could be that I just need to stop wearing makeup, change all the makeup. But it's itching right now. Like, it's just itching. It is itching. Like, it's annoying. So, I told her, and I said, so what? I said, what did you do? And she said, I did dermaplaning. She said she did dermaplaning. Now, because I don't get this kind of stuff done all the time, it didn't register when she said she did dermaplaning. Okay. And I said, okay. I said, but this is really bad, and it's just itching. Like, it is so itching. I said, I have been putting everything. I said, I've been doing my skincare routine as normal, and my skin just keeps flaking up. And she was just like, well, at first she said, I want you to come in on Tuesday. I'm gonna look at my calendar, and I'm gonna try to get you to come in. What's your work schedule? And I said, it's still the same. And she said, well, I'll get you in like around 5:30 or so, right after work. And then, but when she seen the picture, she said, well, no, actually, no, you're gonna need a dermatologist. You're gonna have to get a derm before because this is outside of my scope. This is outside of my expertise. She said, have you ever been to a dermatologist? I said, no, because I ain't never had like major skin issues. I just have dry skin. So she was like, well, yeah, you need to go to a dermatologist. I can recommend you one. I can give you one of mine. And she was like, I don't have it on me right now because I'm driving. And she was like, I'm getting ready to, I'm gonna be in Hot Springs and stuff because I have a wedding to do on Monday. And I'm like, so are you at the Jehovah's Witness conference? Because let me Google when Jehovah's Witnesses conferences are, because I need to find out. Now she gonna be in Hot Springs on Monday and blah, blah, blah. Fine. It's your life. But I'm over here in bad shape. And I told her, I said, my birthday is tomorrow, and I'm not in the mood to really do anything because of this. On top of other personal women issues. So that's how the conversation was going, and yeah, I wasn't feeling it. She wow, I'm trying to think. So basically, she's just basically said she won't even see me until I get a dermatologist. And she said that the time that she has had a dermatologist, she was referred by her primary care physician. And she was like, do you have a primary care physician? I was like, yes, but this is not what I wanted this to turn into. So now she won't even see me. So she done put the block up, she done put the wall up, and basically to me it's giving avoidance. Like, yeah, you can say that you are advising and you are consulting and this is your advising, but you didn't even reach out to me when I emailed you that it hurt. Like, how you gonna say I thought I responded to your email? When you read that email, you should have said, okay, that's my loyal client that you called me, let me call her. She did not do that. She did not do that. And every time I would look at her phone from when I had texted her weeks ago, do not disturb, do not disturb. Keep her phone on do not disturb. Now I understand you got clients and you don't need that disruption while they're in your chair or on your table. I get it, because when she's working with the clients, if you text her, like when I text her, what is your favorite Starbucks drink? She immediately responded. She told me what she wanted, but then she put her phone on do not disturb. I understand that. But if you can respond to me about what your Starbucks drink is that you would like and I bring it to you, why you can't respond to me when I got skin issues? After seeing you, I can't call it. But what's going on? And so now she won't see me until I go to a dermatologist. And I'm telling you right now, I'm about two strikes onto 3 that I will never go to her again. I will never go to her again, because that's just how it feels for me. I'm telling you right now, I do not cancel people without saying, hey, let's talk first. I try to have the conversation. Anybody who has experienced me, been in my space, they know communication is key. I don't like to jump the gun on nothing without the facts, because I assume things, yes, but usually when I'm assuming anything, it's because you acting different, you moving different, and then I'll go and find out. God show me, I'll find it out, and then it's no longer an assumption. It is what I thought it was. And now you mad at me because this is that. I can't stand when, this is sidebar, when people, especially guys, they'll retweet or they'll do whatever this stuff is about. A woman always upset with you just because you liking another woman's post. Well, the thing is that when they liking another woman post, and then you go over there and see what he liking, and then not only is he liking, he commenting like, oh, that's my dream girl, and da 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 da. See, they leave off that part. It's more to it. Women ain't just acting crazy just to be acting crazy, unless you bipolar or you got maybe issues. We like peace, and we want our person to be committed, because we ain't got time for the games. Anyways, back to this. She recommended that I immediately go. She said, let me see the products that you're using, which they're all my Arbonne products. I flipped up the cleanser, and then I put the day night cream and the serum that I use. I left out the eye cream because it's basically the same entire line, because it's like a 4-step process in that line, that particular line. And she looked at it real quick, and she read it, and she said, well, the cleanser, your Arbonne products, has too much sulfates and this and that and this and this and that, and your serum has too much acid or acidity or something. And she said, stop using that immediately and go and get basically she said use a CeraVe or a Cetaphil, CeraVe hydrating cleanser, the Black Girl sunscreen, the other one different from the one I just purchased, and use Aquaphor. She said just stop using everything and only use those 3 things. So I got the things that I needed to get, and I only used the cleanser and the Aquaphor last night because it was bedtime, but it was making me itch. Like, I don't know if it's because I overdid it or because my skin is like, oh, this is something new, but it just felt like itchy in spots. And I don't know if it's because my peach hair like was catching some of it, and it just feels really weird. But anyways, So that itch, and I was restless through the night. And then this morning I woke up and did a cleanse, and I reapplied everything except for I just used a thin layer. And I got up and I did some things and got a couple of little birthday shout outs. And then my girl Lourdes FaceTimed me, and we just laughed and talked and laughed till we cried about some mess and some stuff, and how my birthday is not really turning out the way I wanted it to. And so she was like, sis, you got to get out the house. So what we got to do to motivate you? So I mean, I had told her that I had plans to do things, but because of what's going on with my face, I basically was just laying in the bed. I like just laid there and slept in, because I really didn't get moving till about 11. So then I had to do a load of laundry and get some things done, and I went to start the process of cleansing once again with adding the sunscreen and a thin layer of the Aquaphor. It's not as itchy with a thinner layer. Before I got on camera, that's what it was. I had an epiphany, and I thought about it, and I said, she told me she did dermaplaning. I said, didn't we do dermaplaning months ago and she used a razor? I said, she just told me last night that she only did dermaplaning on me. That was the surprise. I said, So of course I Googled it, and dermaplaning is when you use the razor, and it's in a video that I posted months ago because I got it. I did a full facial. She did a full facial for me, and I did dermaplaning for the first time, where you take the peach fuzz off. That's what we did in the end of January before my grandmother's funeral. So I text her again today. She got her phone on Do Not Disturb. I said I could have swore, I was almost certain that you did not do dermaplaning on me this time. I said, isn't dermaplaning when you use the blade correct? It's when you use the blade. I said you did dermaplaning on me back in January before my grandmother's funeral. I said, that is the last and only time that has happened. She told me last night it was dermaplaning that she did. And I wish I would have videoed what she did this time, but I didn't, because she was running behind, and it was one of those more like, relax, I'm gonna treat you like I'm giving you a surprise treatment, and I didn't want the camera all in my face. That I was just laying there, and she was taking this hand wand tool, because I thought I said, you used a hand wand tool. And I'm like, okay, so she done slept since then, and she can't even remember what she done did what to her clients. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. But what I'm gonna do is go run around and get some more of my freebies and make this video, even though it's got some frustration in there. I think that you guys can utilize this and really have a good time for your birthday month. For those who maybe didn't even know about this, or you didn't know all of the places. So I'm not gonna be able to hit up everything, but hopefully I can make this like part of my series, because in another video I think I was telling y'all that I was gonna do Christmas in July, and I was gonna vlog the whole month of July. If I had a vlogging camera, I would be a master and had everything I needed, because I would be able to be on the phone and do everything while actually vlogging this stuff like real time, like even more in depth. Is basically what I'm saying, because y'all could hear probably some of my phone conversations with my mom, because my mom, I haven't even told my mom about this, because I know she will get mad and get angry and go off and tell me I'm doing too much just because I do self-care, and I don't want to hear that, because I'm gonna continue to do self-care and go and get myself treated every now and again, but it probably won't be at that salon. And the reason why I haven't said her name or named the salon is because, yeah, I know like it could help somebody, but y'all can watch some of the previous videos. I'm telling you, it's at least 2 or 3 other videos in 2023 where I have patronized her, gave her great reviews, and just like supported her and loved her on my socials too. So if you do your research, you'll find them there. But I'm not naming names right now, because I'm just not 100% happy. So I'm telling you the story. I'm telling you how it went down, and I'm telling you the conversation. She has not responded to me today at all. She didn't even say happy birthday. She has not said a word to me and responded, because I did tell her, I said it was not dermaplaning that you did. So we'll see how that goes. I'm about to go into Trader Joe's and get some flowers, and I'm gonna try to take y'all along so you can kind of see how that process works. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. You guys, have you ever heard of Pop Shelf? It looks like a new store. I've never heard of it. I don't even know what's in there, because you do know that this used to be the whole Toys R Us, and then when they went out of business and everything went down, they have actually done different things. So it looks like it's toys and stuff and home goods. It's cute in there. Now let's get into the Trader Joe's. If you know, I'm a sunflower girl, I'm a tulip girl, I'm a peonies girl, but my favorite is orchids, like Khaliah's orchid. Ooh, that's pretty though. That's really pretty. I don't know how I get my free flowers, but I'm gonna see. I don't see any sunflowers. So they have flower bags, and then I don't know what I should get. I was looking for sunflower. Oh, there's one with a few sunflowers and roses. I don't know what to get. Everything is pretty though. I know I love sunflowers, so I need to hit tripping and just get the one with the sunflowers. There's not anything in here that I'm like pressed to get as far as like groceries, because I don't want to leave the groceries in the hot heat. So I really can't think of anything. There's a limeade that I love to get from here. And there's a couple of like little frozen foods, like the chicken and some more stuff that people have recommended, but I don't think that I need to get it right now because it's not gonna hold in the car, because I got plenty of other places I need to go. Do y'all still do free flowers for your birthday?
I didn't know that was a thing, but
Yeah.
I assume yes. It's your birthday today?
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
What are you going to do to celebrate? Have you already done anything?
Well, I've been going around to all the free spots, like Purple Cow, Starbucks here, so I'm just hitting those up and then I'm going to have dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. You have 6 left. Would you like a bag?
No.
Okay. It's a hold it for a while.
Oh, hold it.
Yeah. There you go.
Perfect. Exciting. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, David.
Birthday evening.
You too. Thanks, David. All right, so David did not know that Trader Joe's gives free flowers. Hopefully he doesn't get in trouble, but he was really nice. I really want some salmon. I don't know if I want a big steak and potatoes, but I don't know. I could use a good salmon. I know this week is like burger week or something like that. I used to participate in all that cool stuff, but I had too much going on with my face to even want to be a whole lot of places after work, because work was enough. Work was definitely enough. So yeah, I definitely need to get some gas and fuel up. I have to get premium in this vehicle. Premium, okay? And that's a whole other story for another day, about why I went with the vehicle that I went with and stuff like that, and the drama that came with that, because I had my own financing. You talking about the sales manager in the finance department 38 hot because I had my own financing. So I know with Purple Cow, they usually will send you an email about, you know, a free whatever. So I'm going to look that up. And don't let me forget to update y'all about what's going to go on with my face, because I'm just mad that it's going to be another bill if I have to go to a dermatologist, which I feel like a dermatologist visit is in my future. That part. Shout out to Tulips for my beautiful shorts. Emily Brown, you know who you are. Tulips of the Rock. I got a compliment in Trader Joe's from this lady. She was like, I love your shorts. I was like, she's much older. I thought she would think they were too short. But I'm a cool mom and a hot mom, so you know, I have my legs out. Okay, y'all. So that was cool. I ended up, okay, so here's why I love Purple Cow, because they're really good. A lot of their chefs and cooks are trained by our local community college, Pulaski Technical College. So they have a awesome culinary school at Pulaski Tech, and a lot of the team and a lot of the, I think the upper management at Purple Cow have been trained through Pulaski Technical College. I'm a alumni of Pulaski Technical College and a part of the Phi Theta Kappa 2-year honor society there, which I love and benefit from being a part of it. What I wanted to say too is, if you know, or if you've heard of Purple Cow and you're not from the state and you're wondering why you heard about it, it's because Officer Norman's daughter loved the purple milkshake from Purple Cow, and purple milkshakes sold like crazy when her untimely death took place a year or so ago. So very unfortunate, but Purple Cow is really good, and people from around the world, like when they knew they were coming through Arkansas, they came to the Little Rock area just to try the milkshake. I know we have locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Hot Springs. That's the only places I know. But I ended up getting like a smorgasbord, like a purple milkshake with strawberry, banana, and chocolate for my birthday. And I got the veggie burger. Y'all, that veggie burger is hands up the best veggie burger that I've tasted, even better than Big Orange. Whatever they do with that burger, it's amazing, and I always get that. I do eat meat on occasion, but if I can enjoy vegetables and I don't have to have meat, that's what I'm gonna do. Woo, thing is hot. It's hot, that burnt. So I get the veggie burger with all the trimmings, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, mustard on the side, and I always get sweet potato fries, but I did not want to pay the upcharge for that, so I just got the chips that come with it, and I will do that later. She did not put my pepper jack cheese because I think we were talking and it was too much, and she didn't catch that I wanted pepper jack, so I'm not gonna worry about it because I'm gonna go to the next spot, which is none but cake, and I ain't spending no extra in there. And then I'm trying to think if I should go out to the promenade because that's where I want to go to look at a wristband for my watch, one that doesn't, like, unfortunately the rubber wristbands for Apple Watch, I don't know, it's just starting to hold like a smell. I don't know. And the metal on it, sometimes it make my skin look kind of funky. Right now it doesn't look crazy, but in the past it has. And I think I want like a Velcro one, because at some point I'm gonna be back 100% working out. I think I almost bit the bullet and got a Pilates membership. They keep hounding me, they keep calling my phone, and they're taking off like the $100 sauna, but $159, $199 a month. I had, like, there's stuff that I want to do for myself, but I can work out at home as I always have. And the little bit, well, the lot of bit of stuff that I've invested in at home, like my trampoline, my Apple TV to do the workouts on the trampoline, I still need to keep utilizing that stuff. Like, I would love to get out there and be in the community. That's really what I'm looking for, just other like-minded people and meet people. But right now, my son getting ready to be a senior, and you already know it just add up. I mean, I'm sure they'll have another special. I really wish someone would sponsor me to do it, but at this time, I gotta get my car serviced soon. And one thing about this vehicle, it's amazing because you only have to do an oil change once a year. But when you do that and you get the full service, it's more expensive, but it's only that one time, once a year oil change. That's what I like about it. But that premium gas ain't no joke. When gas was what it was. But I was gonna say about the sandwich at Purple Cow, I always get sweet potatoes everywhere I go. I just didn't want to pay the extra. I love sweet potatoes, and I love trying to find like the best sweet potatoes and the dips that they have with them. So far, Ocean's is hands down or hands up the OG of like dipping sauce, because they have this like caramel honey mix dip with theirs. I've never had anything like it, but I wish that I could have that dip with Purple Cow sweet potato fries, because I love the consistency of Purple Cow sweet potato fries. Ocean sweet potato fries, they're good, but it's like, I don't know, it's just like it's caved in and it's really thick with the cinnamon stuff all over it. I don't know, I've been doing a lot. But Purple Cow sweet potato fries, top notch, A1. I'm getting my energy because I'm getting food in me. And honestly, I need to go to the tattoo shop and try to find me an earring. Either a single earring, or ask can they do the hoop for me. Because when I got this one, they don't start it out with the hoop any longer, because they were doing that. But they discovered that it doesn't heal properly and it causes a lot of issues, because it's hard if you happen to turn to sleep on that side. So this one, the last one I had, it worked out perfect for me. And then I'm gonna get like a hoop later once it's completely healed, because I think it'll be healed in August, completely healed. But I need to get something for this, because that fake jewelry is turning green and it just I need the real deal. And I don't know if I'll do anything else to my ears, but I have been having fun going to get them by a tattoo shop, because it's just better, it's easier. That gun gets caught and hooked and janky. You take that sterile needle, you be in and out. Love it. Love it, love it. I got the flour bag for this, but it needs some water in it. I should have asked them to give me a little container of water. I don't know, maybe they'll be all right till I get back home. So far, I have got extra stuff at 2 places. So I done spent about $12 out of pocket. And oh, here's some mustard, but they still didn't do my pepper jack cheese. And I done got about $20 worth of free stuff. So we doing good. I didn't even think to calculate, you know, but that's around about what I have gotten. And freebies off to nothing but cake. I'm trying to figure out why Apple doesn't have freebies as far as I can see, because I don't know, like like you spend so much money with them. Like once you have their products, you're locked in. It's hard to go to an Android after you had Apple products, because I started out with an Android. My first smartphone ever was an Android in like 2011, I think. No, maybe 2009, something like that. Maybe 2011. And then in 2013 I bit the Apple bug, and I've been with them ever since. But I typically don't change my phone but like every 3 years. So I've had like I'm trying to think, it was either a 3 or a 4, maybe a 5. I think I had a 6, like the bigger phone. I didn't like it. I went back down to a 8, smaller size. Then I got the 10. I had the 13, and then because AT&T had this special, like you would get the 14 for free last September sometime, I think, as long as you turned in your old phone. And I couldn't beat that, so that's why I upgraded to the 14 Pro. But I couldn't get my son to upgrade for nothing because he wanted to make sure it had the home button. So when we got new phones during 2021 and COVID, I wanted him to get a 13 with me, and he refused because he wanted the home button. And now his home button doesn't work, and he has to use that accessibility or whatever you call that little thing to operate his phone. And he's getting ready to, in his last year of school, and I told him, like, we need to upgrade your phone soon. I'm actually willing to not go to Pilates to do that for him and still, not break the bank. Because I want him to have a good, dependable phone. And now with his home button not working, I just don't like that. And he done dropped it several times too over the years, but he does a good job with his electronics. He does really, really well. He has always, I started him out young, like, not young, but because he didn't have TV for a long time, but like once he was around 9 or so, he was like having my iPad all the time. And I let him have it and just take care of it, and I had it in that phone case, and he did really good with it. So, y'all, this milkshake got peanut butter in it too. It's like so thick. I'm gonna have to get I need some water. I didn't get my watermelon for the week, and I ain't happy about that because I eat watermelon every morning to start my day in the summer. Every day. So I may try to get it tomorrow. I wish they would give me one for my birthday, but we'll see. I'm gonna run in here and get my it looked like it's about to storm again. It was thundering and lightning and storming last night. It looks like it's gonna storm again, but I may just go home and watch movies, because I'm telling you, I'm just like, oh my God, are they closed? Oh, y'all, I forgot number cake closed at 6. They got the mop out. Oh my goodness. God darn. Y'all, I've been easy sailing, smooth sailing on my birthday. Now I am at Firehouse Sub, and they give you a free sub for your birthday too, but I could use that later. I got a full meal now. Dang. Y'all, let me check something and I'll be back. Now my battery about to die, and I'm trying to get all this good young footage. Okay, so Nothing But Cake sent me an email, my email, July the 9th, last Sunday, which means I have until July 23rd to redeem my cake. So I can get it another time, but I just want to add that to the list that is a place. And you can also go to Firehouse Sub, but I'm not going to go in there right now because I got food. But that's in my app. And I don't know if you are familiar with, like, when you check out at certain restaurants and you have to, the Toast app. Like, if you have the Toast app, you have like cash back if you frequent those different places. Like, one of my places, I think I had like $5 off when I went to a Mexican restaurant the other day. When I was at my one of my favorite brunch spots, The Root, I had $7 to redeem when I did it online, but I didn't redeem it. So I was like, maybe I'll do it another day when I know I'm really not in the mood for cooking. Because, baby, my son had me cooking all last weekend. Breakfast potatoes, from scratch, like chopping and dicing everything. I got all kinds of fruits and vegetables from work. I made some homemade salsa. Y'all, I don't even know why I hadn't been doing that like all along. That homemade salsa is so good and so fresh. The only thing is you have to finish it within, you know, like a week or so, unless you know how to preserve and you got all the stuff to pressure seal this stuff. I don't have access to all that, so I just put it in a mason jar. But I've been eating it all week, and my son don't eat salsa like that, but he ended up having it and loved it. Y'all, that salsa is good. And I mean, it's just easy ingredients. You don't take all that. I had huge tomatoes that was about to go bad. I said, let me do something. Now I got these peaches, and you guys, I've been thinking about my grandmother. She's been on my heart. RIP to my grandma. And I just think that I'm going to actually take those peaches and kind of like chop them up, put them in their juice, add a little bit of unrefined sugar cane, and then make it juicy enough. And then I'm going to make the peach cobbler from scratch, no measurements, because I think I really want to do that with those fresh peaches and my grandmother's love, and do that recipe. And my son, because he was asking, like, before he went to his dad's, are you gonna make it? I said, if I make it, I'll bring you some. You know, I got you. So I probably will do that. So just make sure you add to the list Firehouse Subs, Jersey Mike's. I may go there later in the week. Cinnabon, I may stop by there. Cinnabon gives you 4 little mini cinnamons. Crumble cake, you get a free cookie, I believe. I don't think I'm on their email list because I don't like crumble cake that much. I've had it, it's just too sweet, and sometimes that taste, it's not right. I'm not a huge fan. If it's, you know, if they have them at a party and it's cut in half, I may eat a half or a quarter, but that's not my favorite cookie at all, not one bit. So make sure to add those things in your list if you have those in your area, or you know you're going to be in the area. Now, what I did notice in the verbiage on the email from Nothing But Cake, they said that you can only redeem it from your preferred store. So like my preferred Nothing But Cake is West Little Rock, because I think that's the only one we have in the city. So you have to pick it up at your preferred store, which will be listed in that email. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm going to head to the promenade because I really do want to look at a different wristband, because yeah. And then what else? Oh, I need to go get fuel, and then I may see if there's anything on that side of town that I can redeem. But yeah, I mean, I haven't done too bad for getting out late. But what I may end up doing is going to Loblolly and getting my ice cream cake. And here's a tip when dealing with ice cream cake. If like you have an ice cream cake and you know that there's not that many people that's gonna eat it, but you want to enjoy it like through your birthday month, what I do is when I get the ice cream cake home, while it's a little bit softened, I already just I pre-cut the servings, and then that way they're already cut. So when you get it out the freezer, you're not having to sit there and let it re-thaw out, and you're not having to go through that. You already have a single serving cut, and then you take that piece off, put it in your plate or your bowl, and let that piece out. Like, that was key. I learned that like just random my last birthday last year. I was like, if I just cut this cake in single servings, I won't always have to pull it out, let it thaw, and then cut, because that was taking up a lot of time and energy. And I was like, food safety wise, I don't like that, like taking the whole cake in and out, in and out. So cut it up first. Like when you first get it home, it's already gonna be a little soft. Cut your single size servings, get what you want, freeze it, and then when you want a piece, just pull that off and let that thaw. Y'all, game changer. Game changer. I'm gonna let this charge a little bit. I'll be back. Hey y'all, I'm back. So it is a little after 8 and I just got out of the Apple store because in order to enjoy CarPlay on my vehicle, you have to have your USB-C lightning cord, I believe. And the one I have, it's okay, but it's like very short. And also, you guys, my phone is about to die because I've been vlogging with y'all, and then I got a phone call or a FaceTime from Lourdes again because I had to tell her something, and then I called my mom. But I went into Apple, and my favorite Apple Care person, I love her so much. We used to work at Whole Foods together. Anyway, she always discounts me, so she gave me a birthday discount because I need a new watch band. And then I got a little bit longer USB cable, so I did that. Now I'm gonna head to Chick-fil-A because you can get a free sandwich, 8 count or 12 count of your choice, and then I have a free drink on there. And I've been playing that game, Code Moo. They have a new game every Wednesday, and then you win something. So I've already won a drink and I've won fries, so I'm gonna go and fulfill that. And then I need to try to go to Ulta. Y'all, I don't remember what time Ulta closes. It may be 8 or it may be 9. I have to double check, and I have to get fuel, so I'm gonna hit up Waffle House. Oh yeah, another freebie is that if you go to Bar Louie, if you have a Bar Louie, you get a free appetizer. So y'all, it's like free stuff everywhere. Like, just look it up, you'll see if you have never done it before, or if you're doing it and you are learning new things. Also, Baskin Robbins has like a free ice cream. I think Dairy Queen has a free ice cream. It's just so much goodness that you can do for your birthday month and just have fun with it. So I'm definitely having fun with it, so I'll be back. Good morning, or actually good afternoon. So it is the following day. It's Sunday, July the 16th. And clearly my mother watches my YouTube channels because she watched the last video that I posted and freaked out about my face. And she texted me and was like, is there a scar on top of your right eye? Because y'all, I was out trying to do my birthday runs, and then she's texting me that, and I was like, yes, I'll explain to you when I get back in the car. So my last run was Chick-fil-A, and I got nuggets and 2 drinks, and then I just went driving through town because by that time it was like getting dark. It was 9 and all the other places were closed. So then I decided that I would get up and do my Sunday things, but now I'm headed to Loblolly because so today is National Loblolly Day because they started their business around my birthday. And I always remember that Loblolly used to be just a food truck, and they had their little ice cream truck, and it was amazing. And then they were able to expand to their brick and mortar. So they're having like this fun thing where if you get there and you get a certain kind of ice cream, you're gonna get this Loblolly bowl that changes colors. And y'all, I'm like panicking because I'm thinking, as I was saying, I'm kind of panicking because they open at 12 and I'm interested to see if there's a line. It is 11:55, so I'm a little bit behind, but I want that Loblolly bowl so much because it actually is similar to the spoons that they give. It changes color with the cold, so it's gonna be the cutest little bowl. And I'm just trying to get one for my birthday, and I might go ahead and get my favorite strawberry ice cream cake while I'm there. So yes, I just wanted to come on and kind of let y'all know that, you know, I didn't get back on yesterday or last night, and so this has been what's going on. And yeah, my mother just was not happy, and she's not realizing that that footage is like from almost 3 weeks ago because I just haven't had time to upload it. And so the area has already like healed over and basically scabbed over slash I have hyperpigmentation from these areas. So I put a little bit of concealer on today since I'm going to be out again, but really I just want to let my skin breathe. And back to my esthetician, so she waited a long time and she did respond to me when I asked her, why is she saying you gave me dermaplaning when that's not what you gave me? And then she was like, I'm wrecking my brain trying to remember. I've looked through pictures. I think I may have told y'all some of this yesterday, but she said that she feels like she did a lactic acid peel on my face. And I'm going, but why? I feel like those type of procedures are like things that should be done either in the fall or the winter, and or like at sundown, like when the sun is going down. And I definitely shouldn't have been in the hot heat, probably not even 2 days later, because if that's what she did, that's why my skin was like all cracked up and it was peeling. But I've pretty much removed almost all of the dead skin because it's driving me nuts. But I did do my routine, the CeraVe hydrating cleanser, the Black Girl sunscreen SPF 30, I believe, the one with the jojoba and avocado, and then a layer of the, what you call that, Aquaphor. So yeah, now she's thinking and trying to, so she doesn't even know what she did because it has been basically a month later. But I reached out to her within that week after all this happened. I mean, we had Juneteenth. You got to remember, some businesses were closed on that Monday. Usually estheticians and salons are closed on Mondays. But I told her within the next week what was going on in the email. No response. So I don't know. My mama just thinking that I'm out here letting people practice on me and da-da-da. I'm like, listen, first of all, this lady has credentials. She's been around a long time. Now, I don't know why things like this be happening to me. I just feel like sometimes it just be attacks. I can't explain it. I don't know. So, yeah. I don't know why she would have done something to me and not told me. I wouldn't think that she would do anything to jeopardize my skin, because she knows that whenever I get booked for a commercial modeling, like I'm doing that, and I'm coming to her to at the very least do my brows and sometimes my makeup. So I wouldn't understand why, but this is what has happened, and I'm just gonna believe that it will heal and it will get back to where it needs to be. Because I don't want to put on makeup right now. But I mean, say for instance I got booked for next week, I would be putting on makeup and concealing and I would go. But my mom is, I don't know, I think when you are a parent, and that's just how parents are, but my mom has to realize that I'm grown up and I have been dealing with this lady. Like, I didn't just let this happen and not say anything. This has been like a, at this point, 4-week ordeal, and I've been reaching out to her ever since 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and she just didn't respond to me. That's on her for not responding to me. And now it's on me if I ever go back to her, because I have learned my lesson at this point, that it's not worth it. It's not worth dealing with it anymore, because I don't care if you're willing to make that kind of mistake on my face. I'm not going back. So that is that on that. I don't know, because of course people were like, it seems like she's trying to upsell you. She's always trying to do something, which she is. She's always trying to upsell. But she told me that she was going to do this for me because I do come to her consistently. You know, I'm pretty consistent and I'm loyal. And so now, like, this is the turnout. I don't like it. And I'll just have to find somebody else. I just have to find somebody else. And my mom made another comment about dealing certain people, and I ain't even gonna repeat that because that's a bit too deep. I ain't even gonna repeat that, but I'm gonna have to find a new brow person and find somebody that truly understands that you cannot be doing chemical stuff on my skin without giving me all the 411 and what I need to do. Because yeah, I went out and had a blast on Juneteenth weekend. I was all up in the sun. Y'all saw the video, the Maya concert. Anyway, if you guys have any opinions on it, or just like if anything like that has ever happened to you, or if you have gotten some type of lactic acid pill and then you went out in the sunlight and your skin reacted, and maybe you experienced something similar, I would like to know. I'm thinking about inserting photos so that you can see like the kind of progression of how I started noticing things. Yeah, my mama told me I need to sue her, and I'm just like, I've been through that before and won. I don't know. I just don't know if I have the energy for it. So let's go get this ice cream and see what's up. Have mercy. Just like I thought, the line is out the wazoo. And I forgot they do have the little go ahead. There was somebody from the Arkansas Museum. They do have the little Bernie's Gardens like market out, so it's like more people even out here today. Dang it, I should have got here at 11:30. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try to get in line and I'll check back. That's the owner of Lovelollies. That sweet lady is from Washington and she's here visiting, so she's excited. Oh, they have plenty of bowls left. So I got here with plenty of time to spare. He's making my sundae now. Okay, y'all, I'm back for a second, and it's hot out here, and I'm sure my phone is gonna start cutting up because it's kind of on, it's getting sun beamed on it. But I went into Lovelolly and I got my special bowl for National Lovelolly Day. I always fix mine up real cute because it's my birthday. I had to give me some birthday marshmallows. This was the little giveaway they were giving to the first 100 shoppers, and it's like a postcard. Now I need somebody to send it to. It's so cute. And then the owner, I think I showed you her, and she saw me and she was like, girl, get you a free sticker because, you know, it's your birthday and you're always in here. And then this is just like their stickers that they were wearing and giving out for the day. So that's my Lovelolly run. I want to go to the farmers market over there so bad, but y'all, it's the homelessness. I know it's a thing. I understand that we're gonna have homelessness. I am thankful that I'm not homeless, but the way they just come up on you, like knocking on my car window. I told one of them, I said, I got a gun in here. Back up. And I know that's not nice, but it's because it keeps happening to me repeatedly, and I'm tired of it. I'm getting beyond tired. I mean, it's just not fair for the Patreons out here that's patronizing these businesses to be bombarded with somebody trying to get money. It happened on the 4th of July when I was at the ice cream shop with my classmate. A homeless man walked in, excuse me, and just interrupted our conversation, asking for money. I don't know. There needs to be a solution. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's getting old. This is good. All right, y'all. I know that I could probably go to Firehouse Sub and get my sub today. Oh, I'm gonna run by Ulta. Yeah, let me go by Ulta. I'll be back. All right, y'all. So I had to deal with the lady that kept running up on my car, and then I did walk over to the farmers market at Bernie's Gardens, but my mom called, so I was on the phone with her, so I didn't really get the film. But it's just God be working. He just be working. Every time the enemy tried, God be like, nope, we ain't going for it. So I walked up to this lady's business because she had her juices, and this is the name of the company. So I got the red beets ginger juice, and it was a shot, so I got that. It was like $4 plus tax. But while I was interacting with her, this lady comes up to me and she was like, these are for you. You guys, she was over there making flower bouquets from scratch and just putting them in a fresh vase, and I'm sure they were probably $20-something, but she just gave it to me. And I turned around and I said, thank you so much. Like, that was so nice. I said, my birthday was yesterday. She was like, what? Mine too. And then I gave her a big old hug, and we were just like, just in that moment, celebrating another year of life. And like, that was nothing but God. That was a God moment, a God wink, and a spirit moment where she just felt compelled to bless me with flowers, and then we shared the same birthday. So that made me happy. I finished up my call with my mom, and now I'm headed into Ulta to see what they got going. Let's go. All right, the main thing that I need from Ulta, I feel like I need my birthday gift, and what else? These are really nice. I wanted to look at the Dyson blow dryers, but I wanted to look at a fragrance. That's what I wanted to look at. Yeah, this right here, the black opium. It's okay. I'm good. How are you? Do y'all have this in a sample size?
Which one?
A sample size, the black opium.
It looks like we are out of
The sample.
the black opiums right now.
Okay, y'all. Unfortunately, they did not have the YSL sample that I wanted to try, and they don't even have it at Sephora. So I'm trying to find a few things and then get out of here. But I was looking at the Dysons because I'm still trying to decide if I would ever want to invest in one, but they don't have them out. I don't know if those are in the back or what, but they don't have any. And this music is playing, so let me get right, y'all. So I got out of Ulta, and I actually was in there, and I saw one of my youth that I used to have on Sunday youth service. She works there now, so we were talking and chatting up, and I supported her and purchased something. She did a color match for me, so I got that. I'm trying to continue to heal, but I don't want to wear a full face of makeup. And then I got a phone call from a dear friend, and we talked for a little bit. He had wished me happy birthday. So now I ran to Whole Foods because I had to get my pet his cat food. And now I'm going to Firehouse Sub to get me a free sub. So I will try to take you guys. It's been hit or miss because I get phone calls and my battery is low. Guys, I almost did not get the sub because when you open the app and you look through it, it does not show you your birthday sub. It doesn't show you in there. But as long as you scan your rewards barcode and everything, it will take it. Because at first she put the sandwich on, and it was like $9. And then she was like, do you want a combo? I was like, how much is it with the combo? And she was like $13.89 or something like that. So something said just go for it. And when I did, she told me my total was 13 something dollars, but then it showed that it was $3.87. So it did give me my birthday sub. So let me show you guys the receipt, so you can get a birthday sub for your birthday. So this is my order, like everything that I requested. And then like it says birthday sub, and my total was $3.87. I'm winning, and I got a drink and chips for the combo. So yes, that will be my dinner tonight. Let's see the sub. Here is my cute little sandwich. It should have regular mustard on there. That's what I requested. I don't like deli mustard. I don't like spicy mustard. I don't see it, but I don't know. Anyways, you guys, whenever I go into places like Firehouse or places that have like different flavor drinks, I always do a suicide. If you know, you know. Love a good suicide. That's good. But I don't have regular mustard. I think I have some at home. Let's go.